Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet Zoo. I've got something really special planned for today. If you guys have seen one of Plumbella's recent videos where she made her own Sims 4 random build generator, I decided that I was going to do the same thing but for Planet Zoo. So today we're going to be putting this generator that I made to the test and building a completely randomly generated habitat from a list that I made. If you guys are interested in doing this challenge yourself, the link to the generator will be down in the description below. Feel free to try it out and let me know what you make. So this here is the generator that I made. There are about 6 different things that can be randomized to get your different style of zoo. So for this video, we are going to be pressing the randomize button 3 times and we're going to go with whatever we get. 1, 2, 3. You must build a habitat for a canine in the style of steampunk for 11 animals. It will include a greenhouse and a tower. You will also have to not build any buildings. Oh my gosh, so we're gonna have to... How are we gonna make a tower? And a greenhouse? Okay, that's gonna be an interesting one. After a little bit of deliberation, the animal I think I'm going to be building for is the timber wolf, just because we have to build for 11 animals and they'll work well in groups. With my 11 timber wolves placed down, I need to figure out kind of the layout for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start painting it with terrain. So let's just get some general shapes in for the habitat. I'm not exactly sure how much space wolves need, so we'll just try and make the habitat pretty big. And we'll get a nice viewing area that really just wraps around like this. You can almost make it like a U-shaped habitat. And I think here is where I'm going to put the tower. And I forgot we need a greenhouse as well. Maybe we could incorporate that into the guest viewing so we can have it here and like that's what you stand in. We're gonna have to find some way to, build this without making it an actual structure. Okay, hopefully something like that is big enough for the wolves. Okay, we got 11 wolves in here. Now let's put them right into the exhibit. All right, looks like they're starting to get in here. Okay, this one's all fucked up. Can we get a refund on this one? This reminds me of that game Wolf Quest. Did you guys ever play that when you were in like middle school? Yeah, this habitat is probably a little bit small, but if we make it any bigger, this is going to be a 3-hour video, so I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna turn the game audio on for you guys so you can hear what I have to listen to right now. Yep, let me just do my terrain. This isn't annoying at all. So just be thankful that I turned that audio off for you, or else you'd have to be suffering just like me. All right, how about we make some viewing areas? And I guess we'll have to make this with lots of glass since it is supposed to be a greenhouse. Again, don't know how we're gonna pull this off without building a structure, but that is a problem for me at a later time. Okay, we have another viewing area over here. This is probably gonna be where like the den is, maybe? And then I actually do have an idea for the tower. We can't make structures, but I can make it out of terrain. I'm not sure how big I want to make this tower. Probably not too big, right? Like maybe something like that. Does that look egregious? I think it does. Okay, what if we tried a cylinder instead? I don't know how we're gonna make this look good. Okay, maybe we could try making this into like a cave of some sort. All right, I think that's gonna make it look a little bit better. The wolves are still howling, by the way. All right, I think that's looking pretty swell. It almost looks like a giant tree. So I think we're actually gonna change that because, it's supposed to be a tower. Okay, so I think we're gonna go with something like that so it looks more like a wizard tower. I think I am gonna throw in some essentials, maybe to keep them entertained and to get them to do something other than freaking howl. Look at that. We already got 2 converted over. They're done howling. They were just thirsty. That's all they needed. So we're just gonna throw in some concrete walls back here so I can get a better idea of where the plants and rocks and stuff are gonna go. Okay, it seems the wolves, are just there. You guys, I have escapes turned off. Why is this such a disaster? Look at the vet's just walking him over there. You're part of the problem, buddy. You're part of the problem. Okay, for the time being, we are closing this off. That's right. You cannot pass through here anymore, okay? No, leave it. Sometimes this game really just amazes me, and not in a good way. We gotta think steampunk with the foliage here. That makes me think a lot of like dead, kind of almost dystopian looking trees. They also kind of mimic that tower look. Okay, now we need to kind of make a little entrance for the keepers here. I'm thinking that we just make this quote unquote indoors. We could do all of that by using rocks. Let me tell you, I think I am gonna have to use mods in this. These faux rock pack pieces are really gonna come in clutch here. All right, now let's put a roof on this thing. There is our first piece of rock work. That looks really boxy, so we're gonna have to blend this in. Okay, I think planting this up is gonna make it look a lot more natural. All right, that's looking pretty good. I think now it's time to incorporate some of the steampunk theme. So I'm basically just gonna see what metal objects I can find, and we're gonna plaster them all over the place and hope it does the trick. I think something we're definitely gonna have to incorporate is the clock tower. I'm gonna make a base for it out of rock just so it blends into our terrain tower. All right, let's see what we can do with this thing. I'm thinking we put it right on the top. That's pretty cool. I think what would be interesting is putting these wooden pallets all around the tower like this. It can make it look almost like a makeshift catwalk. All right, we're gonna need something to hold these bad boys up, so we're just gonna get some bracket pieces here. This tower definitely still looks way too natural and weird, so we are now going to just put metal sheet all over it. Found this piece that's really cool, so I think we're gonna try and incorporate this somehow. I think that looks neat. It's a little much, but we'll leave it for now and see where it goes. This is absolutely covered in random metal scraps. I don't know how I feel about it, but I think if we just continue this throughout the exhibit, maybe it'll make sense. Either way, that definitely looks steampunk to me. I want to make a little awning for the cave here, so we're going to use the twilight doors and just some of the other pieces we've used on the tower to do that. And of course, we're going to need some brackets to hold those up. The more I cover this, I think the more absolutely awesome it's looking. I would definitely say that is mission successful on this part here. Now we just have to make the rest of this look good. I think what I'm going to do next is focus on the greenhouse. And once again, we cannot have any buildings. So I'm going to have to make this greenhouse out of rocks. I am going to get a Steve for scale here. Since it's a greenhouse, for the door, I'm going to use these PVC curtains. We just got to close these gaps in with some more rock. I should probably go back in with the faux rock pack, huh? I'm going to kind of roof this a little bit, but I'm going to leave some gaps. Since this is a greenhouse, we are going to need a lot of glass in the ceiling. And then we got to get some fun pieces like this. I am going to need to edit the barrier so it's a little bit taller now. I think the real question here is going to be how do we keep the light in to give it that greenhouse vibe, you know? So let's see what we have in terms of glass here. I want to see if we can get away with using something like this without it actually counting as a building, because I think this is a viable option here. All right, now let's finish off the roof. I realize that these are open and I'd like to close them off, so thankfully there are these pieces that kind of snap right in there. So I am just going to go ahead and replace all of those pieces. And what would be a greenhouse without plants? So now we just have to make this thing planted up. And to keep with the general steampunk vibe, I think I'm going to try and do lots of towering layers of planters. Of course, we're going to be using metal ones as well. Now let's get this thing planted. I'm still gonna try and stick with like the temperate theme, just because this is for wolves, but we're still gonna make it really vibrant. I am gonna change the path to this gold path, just because I think it makes it look a little bit more steampunk. I mean, I think that looks, you know, pretty outrageous. We'll add some wolf statues as well. I think this looks pretty good. So we've got our main requirements here. We have the tower and we have the greenhouse. We have 11 wolves and we don't have any quote-unquote buildings. So I think now it is time to just do the rest of the decoration. I was doing some terrain paint here and I realized we still have an entire den that we didn't do. So I'm gonna have to take care of that real quick. We definitely want to use a mix of the faux rocks and the temperate rock. I know the color doesn't match exactly, but that's okay. I might even blend in some other biomes. I also think it would be really cool to have a couple holes in the roof of the den, something like that, and then we'll just plant the heck out of it. I think that looks really good. So now we can go back to the habitat. I really like this den entrance here. I think it's super cool. What I'm doing here is just making some like pacing trails just because you see that realistically. Not that this habitat is meant to be realistic or anything, but I think it just makes it look more like dynamic, I guess. I think this is looking a little bit better. I definitely want to incorporate more of the steampunk theme, so we're just gonna throw some trash everywhere. I think this modded rusted out car might be a good start. Obviously they didn't have, you know, modern day cars like this, but we could pretend it was some old contraption. If we just kind of turn it on its side a little bit, it might make it harder to tell what it was, you know, maybe it was a buggy or something. I'm thinking maybe some smoke effects might do us a favor here. you know, and look like steam or something. So I've got these pipes here. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Definitely steampunk, that's for sure. Maybe we could get like an old chimney in here somewhere. Yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for, but I do need to prop it up on some brick. Where I live, there's this really cool hiking park, and in that park there used to be an old settlement. I mean, there was tons of stuff in there all around where I live, really, but there's this one place that you can hike out to that is basically just a field of old chimneys, and so I kind of have that in mind with this part of the build. Now, I think we should use some decals to make this look all messed up. I really feel like there's something missing here, so I'm gonna see if I can add some of this cobblestone as like a stone path or something like that to make it look more Victorian steampunk sort of thing. I'm kind of trying to make it look like there was an old path that went through here that's just been totally covered by dirt and grass and everything. I think we're done here. I think that we've hit all the check marks. So we have a habitat for a canine. There's 11 animals. It's in the style of steampunk. It has a greenhouse and a tower. And I don't have any buildings. They are all built out of rocks or faux rocks. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'm definitely going to do another one of these challenges again because it was super fun. Again, the challenge is going to be linked down in the description so you can try it yourself. I can't wait to see what weird things you guys are building with this random generator. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.